the UNC and a backbone of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And I want to tell you that both of you, our candidates, are reflections of the women of the UNC and the strength of the women of the UNC. I have no doubt that the strength of our women and the strength of the membership of the UNC will take us back in government as soon as a general election is called. And so I tell you, as you both continue to campaign, as we continue the campaign in both electoral districts, it is not just about this battle. We have a war. And I am confident that both of you will be victorious in your battles in Belmont and in Barataria. But I want you to also be mindful that we have a war to win. We have a war to bring back good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. We have a war to fight and get rid of the nasty PNM, Rowley PNM. We have a job to return Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress back to government for the sake of every citizen. So I ran away from the People's Senate this evening because I really wanted to come here and share some of the positive vibes that you have been carrying in Belmont. And I want to tell you, keep it up. We need to provide you with that support as you go forward to victory. And I thank you for having me here to address you. Thank you.
Away from Point Fortin, Senator Tahaka Obika. Belmont, good evening. It feels at one with the spirit to be with you tonight. And I thank you for coming out in your numbers. And I want to give you the assurance that as long as blood flows through my veins, this will be the presence of the United National Congress in the heart of the city of Port of Spain forever and ever and ever. The people of Belmont have a long history. A long history. This town was called Freetown. This town was called Freetown when most of the Africans who were here in Trinidad and Tobago were enslaved at the hands of the British. This town was called Freetown when the brutality of the United Kingdom reigned in Trinidad and Tobago. This town was called Freetown. But under this Rowley PNM government, this town needs to reclaim and revisit its glory days. This town is suffering. Belmont East, you have an opportunity to right the wrongs of history under this wicked PNM led by Dr. Rowley and return good governance to the people of the B-Town, to the people of Belmont, sorry. But we were struggling with people in B-Town recently. People of Belmont. Return good governance to the people of Belmont just like when it was called Freetown. So we want to free ourselves of the PNM under Rowley. We want to return good governance to the people of B-Town, to the people of Belmont. No, trust me. I want to share this story to you so I could get this off my chest. That is why I say in B-Town so much. I went to the B-Town together with Jolene John and Gerald Ramdeen. to meet with the people in the B-town and to hear their concerns. And whilst we were meeting with the people in the B-town, mites were biting us because the cesspits were overflowing and the filth was flowing in the streams. And instead of the member of parliament, Fitzgerald Hines, going there and fixing the problems in the B-town, he went to open a play park so the children of the B-town could play in the filth. Imagine that, the disrespect for the people who vote unrelentingly for the PNM. But we are not talking about B-town tonight, we are talking about Belmont East. So I get that off my chest. Belmont is a proud community. This is not a poor people place here. This is a proud community with a long history, contributing significantly not only to the development of Trinidad and Tobago, but by virtue of the people, the products of Belmont, contributing to the world. So this you have the unfortunate circumstance of the proud people of Belmont reeling under the pressure of this Rowley-led PNM government, who only cares for your vote. That's why they only practice their style of government on the election day between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. But after they get your vote, they don't want to hear from you. Stuart Young should be ashamed to show his face in Belmont. Should be ashamed. But that's all right. We return to what I said when I started here, when I started tonight, that this presence of the United National Congress will be a permanent fixture in Belmont, in Port of Spain. Because the United National Congress is just that, a national party. We are a national party. We are a national party committed to the development of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, when I was walking around giving out flyers and so on, one of our activists, Larry, carried me to the home of a young man. And the young man was asking to come on board. He said he just fed up. He want to come on board. He want to come on board to help with the election. I said, let me tell you something. We are happy that you're coming on board. And the United National Congress is more than election day. We are about development of people. So I told him that I'm committed to him to bring young people who are interested in developing themselves for the purpose of developing the community. If they want to get involved in entrepreneurial activity, we had the medical clinic. Over 100 people came here and benefited from the good graces of the United National Congress, and they are seeing that we care for you. We are having another clinic, and Sister Liana will speak to you on that this Sunday. But I told him that I want to work with him, bring as many youths as you can. And on the sidelines of the clinic on Sunday, I will speak to them as to how to register their own business, how to get involved in tendering for contracts at a small scale in their own community, how to engage in entrepreneurial activity. Because one of the solutions to the people of Belmont is development from Belmont itself. Once you can develop within yourself, the government can try what they want under Dr. Rowley. You don't have time for that. They can try what they want to subjugate the people of Belmont. Once we help you and partner with you in your development, trust me, they will be running. And the likes of Stuart Young will never show his face on the streets of Belmont forever and ever again. You see, this is a spiritual fight. And when you come to a place called Freetown, when you come to a town called Freetown, you cannot miss you, the spirituality of it. Within this electoral district, there is a house called Africa House. I'm familiar with it. When I grew up, though I'm from Point 14, I grew up as a member. A tree must be proud of its roots, because from its roots it gains sustenance. I grew up in the house of the National Joint Action Committee. And I walk the streets of Belmont, of St. Barb's, of Lavantie, of Mova, of the Beetham, of Port of Spain South, giving out pamphlets, selling the Liberation newspaper of Enjac. And the message then is the same as the message is now. Power to the people. What we plan to do. What we plan to do for the people of Belmont. And Senator Mark, he is required to be in the Senate because we have a vote to make on an important bill soon. So I'm also bringing you some greetings on behalf of Senator Mark, our leader in the Senate. Please give a round of applause to Senator Mark. It is because of the work of people like Senator Mark, Senator Wade Mark, that we even have this office here today. We even have this location here today. So we have to be grateful. They say that even in African culture, that an elder can see sitting down what even the young cannot see from the highest tree. What the young cannot see even if he is standing. I'm saying to the people of Belmont that this Stuart Young cannot see. He is part of a party with a leader, Dr. Rowley, who has no vision. A leader that has no care for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take a simple issue in the last 50 seconds that I have. Education. Education has always been important to our free people. And this is Freetown. But if you take the laptops out of the school bags of the children of Trinidad and Tobago, when Dr. Eric Williams, who founded your same party, said the future is in the school bags, then you yourself are the biggest hypocrite and need to be chased out of office with no respite. So we are saying to the PNM that we are here today, that we will be bringing the fight to the PNM. We will be defending the interests of the people of Belmont. And on the 16th of July, come out in your numbers and vote resoundingly for Sister Liana Barb Gonzalez. I thank you very much. Have a good night.
All I hear, my brother? All I hear, my brother? I can't say nothing after you talk, except to say, I want you all to welcome our deputy political leader, David Lee, to the platform, and also welcome, trying to sneak in right now, our next deputy political leader, Miss Jolene John, who is now gracing us with her presence. The woman come to work.
Thank you, Kivan, our master of ceremonies tonight. But Kivan has been doing yeoman service in this office and Belmont East. Can we give Kivan a round of applause, please? Excellent coordinator. Let me first recognize some people in the audience. Let me recognize the chairman of United National Congress, Mr. Peter Kanai. Can we give him a round of applause? Welcome, Peter. I also like to recognize my other deputy political leader, the powerhouse that will be speaking later tonight, Miss Jolene John. She's in her jumpers, so I don't know if that, she's not wearing any, what's the boots they said, Jolene? Versace? No. She's wearing work boots, kickers she's wearing, so she's coming to kick some people here tonight. Let me recognize my comrade, my brother, my colleague, my friend, MP Barry Padarat. Also, let me recognize a great friend. I've gotten to know him in the past few years. I still call him Senator. He is a fighter for the people, Senator Wayne Sturge. Can we give him a round of applause? And there are so many. And let me also recognize the two candidates for Belmont East, Liana, you'll hear later, and Sharon from Barataria. Ladies and my brothers and sisters, friends, you heard from two young individuals, bright senators who are on their way back to the Senate. And I want to let you know that United National Congress, as far as the youths, we are alive and refreshing and talented. Can we give the youths a round of applause? The senators that just spoke here. Khadija has been around a long time, but she's still very youthful and pretty. We have a running joke, Khadija and myself. Sometimes I think she's so long with us in the politics that we tend to forget she started at a very tender age, I think around 14 or 16. So she's still very young in the game. Brothers and sisters, people of Belmont East, tonight I want to tone it down a little bit because there are some powerhouse coming later, and I just want to reflect on Belmont East and Barataria. Really and truly, friends, the crime is plaguing our country, rampant and also throughout Barataria and Belmont East. Isn't that so? Only a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, there was a demonstration outside Parliament because we had a motion of no confidence against Minister Dillon, the National Security Minister. But one must never forget, there are 3 ministers of national security inside that ministry, and all of them are failures. But we saw the people of Trinidad and Tobago came out in their numbers to really send a message to this government that crime is not acceptable and they will not tolerate crime. We saw a number on that Friday, over 270 and counting, 260. And on that Friday had reached 270. And I think tonight it is over 280 murders and counting for the year. And we must not allow that to be forgotten. The PNM is trying to forget and make us forget about the crime, what is plaguing our country, and we must not allow them right here in Belmont East and throughout Belmont. They are responsible, and the Prime Minister must take responsibility for the actions or inactions of this government. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one Chinese has no fear of Belmont. I do not have my name on my jersey, but you know this Chinese David Lee. And I want to tell you about myself and Belmont. I went to St. Mary's College. And when I left St. Mary's College, the first job I got was at a company that is still here. The headquarters are still here at the corner of Reed Lane and Belmont Circular. I would not call the company's name. It's a family-oriented company. And I remember as a young 19-year-old coming out of St. Mary's, and being my first job was in Belmont. And walking the streets of Belmont was safe, beautiful, calm, family. I remember as a youngster, my first job for a couple of years before I went away to university, that I was in charge of making deposits. I started off on the ground, nothing wrong with that. I was responsible for dropping deposits at the bank. There was a bank at the corner right here of St. Francois Valley and Norfolk. They used to call it Barclays, and it went into Republic Bank. I was able to walk at a lunchtime with money in a brown paper bag, checks in a brown paper bag from Reed Lane. I would walk down throughout Pelham. Sometimes I passed through St. Margaret's Lane. Sometimes I passed through Clifford. And I would arrive at Republic Bank at that time. And I was able to make the deposits and walk back to Reed Lane without any interference. We cannot do that today. And we need to bring back those times in Belmont. Belmont needs to be safe and family-oriented as it used to be. We used to get rid of crime. Belmont had a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. You remember not only the family business that is still there because they are very Belmont-oriented. We have remember Movalite, right up in Bella Road. L.J. Williams was up here. People used to go at L.J. Williams and buy Pedrax wholesale. We used to have Electrolux right on Germingham Avenue. We had several medium-sized businesses and small businesses. You remember poor Mr. Noon's, the gas station up at the corner of Reed Lane and Circular. He has been held up so many times that now, and it's a critical service that he provides for the Belmont area. He shuts down his gas station early because he has been held up so many times. And the government of this, and the Rowley and this led government has done nothing about crime in Belmont. And we must rid the PNM government out of Belmont once and for all. I know it is very difficult, my brothers and sisters. You all remember Ray Apollon? I want to tell Stuart Young. I wonder if Stuart Young knew Ray Apollon lived right up by St. Francis Archie Church. How many of us know that? Ray Apollon was an icon, a wrestler for Trinidad and Tobago. God rest his soul. Liana is a Belmontite, born right here, and she will die right here, and she wants to represent the people of Belmont East. Well, we make it happen for her to represent the people of Belmont East. My friends, I had so many good friends in Belmont. I used to go up Gloucester Lodge Road, which is right over on that side. Gonzales. I used to party in Belmont. We cannot do that anymore. People are in their homes, locked away, in a jail. We must get rid of this P&M. My brothers and sisters, I want to tell you something. If you look at the jerseys that some of our activists are wearing, it says, don't hope for change, vote for change. And how are we going to do that? By sending them a message on July the 16th. But what is the risk, my friends and brothers and sisters? The P&M has controlled the Port of Spain Corporation forever. When last have you ever seen Mayor Martinez on this side? Huh? He might be in the Bloco come tomorrow night, but he is not a Belmont person. Mayor Martinez is a friend of Coleman Burt. He used to be his financier. He used to be his campaign manager. You have to understand the history of Mayor Martinez. Mayor Martinez and the Port of Spain Corporation has neglected Belmont East. And we must send them a strong message on July the 16th. The risk, what is the risk, my brothers and sisters? We need to come out and take that risk for Belmont East to send a message. It is time Belmont sends a message that no longer they will be taken for granted. The risk is very simple. It's not a great risk. Port of Spain Corporation has controlled Belmont forever. All we are asking is to come out on July the 16th and vote for our sister Liana Barb Gonzalez. And she will give you the kind of representation that Belmont East deserves. So the risk, my brothers and sisters, is on July the 16th, you vote for Liana, and you will see the kind of representation, because local government election is next year, sometime November. So there's no great risk in sending a message to the P&M that it is time that we are not being taken for granted. And I am sure you, when you vote for Liana, and the year that she gives you the kind of representation, you will vote for her again next year. So brothers and sisters, do not be fooled. Vote on July the 16th. Come out in your numbers and vote for my sister, Liana Barb Gonzalez. She's a sister of born and bred of Belmont, and let us bring back Belmont East that we know it as a family community.
I want to thank Brother Lee for letting people know and acknowledging the work that has been happening here. It hasn't been me alone. We have a battery of people here every day working hard to bring home Belmont. And since we've been here, I want you all to know, we've been signing up many UNC members, new members that are coming into the party that understands what it is when we say you are UNC and proud. And right now, I want to show you all one of those new members. I have a former P&M councillor that is now a member of the UNC. The former councillor for Southern Port of Spain, Dada Gabriel, who is here tonight to show you all what it means to be UNC and proud. Welcome home, brother. Brother Dada wants to give us a few words. But there's a virus going on. He loses his voice. But he wanted to be here. He wanted to show his face. And another brother that wants to be here, who is here, is I call him MP Peppermouth. The Barry Padarat is here to give us a few words on behalf of Barataria.
Belmont! 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 Something is happening! Can you feel it? Can you smell it? Bubbles were said, burning. And come election day, July 16th, Leon Bob will make sure the I.A.N and the Balize burn down right here. Sharon Dharam and Barataria will make sure the I.A.N burn down in Barataria. Let me take the opportunity to recognize it might not be in Gucci boots, but it might be on Wellington boots, because you see every day, as you see, our deputy political leader is always hard at work. We don't have sleeping leaders. We have people who come out and put on their boots and hit the ground running. I want to also take the opportunity to recognize our candidates. I.A.N, who is a powerhouse right here, a community leader, and someone who has your interest at heart. This evening, I'm very happy to also have with us our candidate for Barataria, Sharon Maraj Dharam. Now, many of you may be asking, might be asking, what is the MP for Princestown doing in Belmont? Well, I want to share something with you that not many people know. But Senator Tahaka spoke about roots. And he says you must be anchored in your roots. Princestown is my branches. My roots is right in Barataria, where I was born and bred. And I am a North boy. And that is why I feel compelled to stand here on sacred ground to ensure that the UNC is strong, the UNC is alive, and the UNC will take these 2 seats to send a message to the People's National Movement. You see, when they stand in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, they put Balize before boat. They put Balize before bridge. They put Balize before bread and butter. They do not care about the small people. They only care about the big people. I want to ask you, residents of Belmont, which of them live among you? Where does Stuart Young live? Jolene John will tell you, well, he has several places that he stays from time to time with several different entities. Whether it is 180, whether it's 360, we may hear a little bit more about that. She may tell you about the ransom and what goes on down there with the wad of US cash. But yet they want to talk about Gucci boots. You see, when you have cocoa in the sun and you live in glass houses, don't stand up from the outside and tell big story. If you're a man, come and fight. Manos, manos. But you see, they will not live among you. You have 3 members of parliament right here. Fitzgerald Hines. You know, I remember Mr. Manning God bless his soul, Mr. Manning would often refer to one of his own members in the 2007 government as a charlatan in a three-piece suit. And it often reminded me about a member for Laventille West, Fitzgerald Hines. Because that was the man Manning used to talk about. You see, he will walk, he will flex his chest, he will spew the nasty propaganda on the ground, but tell the man to deliver, he could not even deliver box rain. That is why Rowley has moved him from works, public utilities, and now he does tin shelving the AG office. Then you have Marlene McDonald, who don't know if she coming or she going. If she on the left or she on the right. They gave her a little plain public admin. She couldn't last 2 days, she ended up in the hospital. They say it was sugar, I feel it was something else, but I will not go there tonight. And then we have Stuart Young, who is preoccupied with Jolene John Boots, who preoccupied with Kamala Duster and hair curlers. But I could tell you one thing, not one of them could stand in Jolene John or Kamala Bisesa Boots any day, anytime, any place and anywhere. I want to tell you right here in Belmont tonight. I want to tell you right here in Belmont tonight. They depend on you as their vote bank. They have kept you enslaved mentally. And they are hoping that once more you will go out there with your blinders on. And you will vote for them. In Psalm 23, it says, even though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Tonight I tell you, let the UNC be your rod and your staff. It is time that you find your will. It is time you find the fire in your belly to stand up to the fear that the PNM instill in you. Your vote does not belong to anyone. Your vote is your weapon. Your vote is your choice. Your vote is your right. It is the key that will get you out of that mental slavery that the PNM has kept you in. And they are dependent on keeping you poor. They are dependent on keeping you destitute. They are dependent on keeping you enslaved. Because while their pockets are getting fatter, you are getting poorer. It is only when you feel it in your homes, when the criminals attack you in your homes, when you feel it in your pockets, when you cannot afford to buy milk for your babies. School will open in September. Many of you do not know where you will get money to buy books. You know, a lady from right in Belmont here, what she told me. She came outside of the parliament and she said, Minister, I said, I'm not a minister, I'm an MP. She said, I know, but that is the respect I have for you. She said, soon you will be a minister. I said, well, soon the UNC will return to office, that I am sure about. But she told me right here in Belmont, in order to survive, she has 2 sons. And she said in order to survive, she has no choice but to send them to snatch. I said, what do you mean that you send them to snatch? She said, you see, when there's people running down for gold chain and thing in Charlotte Street, sometimes I have to send them out because I have no money for food. I have no money to buy milk for the babies. If they really cared about you, do you think they would have gotten rid of the baby grant? Do you think they would have cut your food card? Do you think they would have cut your CPEP and URP jobs? And that is why I tell you they are dependent, that no matter what they do to you, they understand that they have kept you in bondage for all of these years. that you will go back and vote for them. But I have a feeling right here in Belmont as I stand and speak with you tonight that that is about to change. And I want you to go out there proud, strong, united. I remember I.A.N John the day she became deputy political leader for our party. She told me something very interesting, and I will share it with you tonight. And I've worked with Miss John for many years, and I've never found someone who has worked so assiduously in the interests of the people, especially from the communities that surrounded the HGC, right here. And she said to me, she said, Mr. Padrat, I like you. I said, why? She said, because you understand the psyche of the PNM. She said, when they shout at you in the parliament, you shout louder. When they flex their chest, you get up as small as you are, and you flex wider. She said, when they go lower, you go lower. They depend on you to be like sheep, that you will stay quiet. You will remain coward. Days for that done. And whether it is inside of the parliament, whether it is right here in Belmont with I.A.N, whether it is Barataria with Sharon, whether it is in Pointe-a-Pierre with David Lee, we have a fight in China now, you know. Or whether it is in La Hawketa with I.A.N John. Crapo smoke their pipe. So I ask you to keep the faith. You know, Bungie and Marshall have a song. They stink a dirty. We know they stink a dirty. We know they stink and dirty. That's why Munilalis had to tell Heinz to hush his stink. You know it. You know it. You know it. You know it well. But the next part of the song goes, holy faith, holy faith, holy faith. I ask you, as I bring you greetings from our political leaders, others have, hold the faith. With a leader like Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the PNM knows with the lack of delivery, with the poor performance, that only if they keep you enslaved in mental slavery and bondage, that is your only chance of going back. So I say to you, my people, arise, awaken, get up, find your voice, find the fire in your belly, and let them know what time it is. It is not Balizé time. It is not Rowley time. It's not Stewart time. It's not Fitzgerald Hines time. It's not Marlene time. It is time for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I thank you. I have the pleasure and opportunity right now to bring on our next councillor for the electoral district of Barataria. We will continue to fight in solidarity with you. But the next councillor is here to join us. And she has developed a love, a strength, and a warmth on the ground in Barataria. And we know on election day we will be celebrating right here in Belmont East with I.A.N and with our next councillor for Barataria. Please put your hands together. Welcome, 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 Sharon Maraj Taram.
Thank you, Barry. But it's very hard coming after you. I can't talk like that, all right? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Political leader of the United National Congress and next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who is watching and listening to us. Members of Parliament, senators, chairman of our party, my fellow candidate, Ms. Liana Bab Gonzalez, the next councillor for Belmont East. My UNC family, I bring to you greetings of love and mutual respect from the electoral districts of Barataria. A special good evening to all of Barataria. Make some noise, Barataria! Firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate each and every child who sat the C exams and who was successful. And I would like to also acknowledge the sacrifices that the parents have made towards their children's success. My friends, my name is Sharon Maraj Durham, and I am your UNC candidate for the electoral district of Barataria. I am a community activist and an active participant of many community-based initiatives geared towards improving the lives of the people of Barataria. For many years, I have participated in helping the less fortunate and bringing relief to persons affected by flooding and other social ills within my community. This is what the UNC family is about, helping people, improving their quality of life. This is what Liana wants to do for the people of Belmont East, and this is what I will continue to do in Barataria. Personally, I have seen the impact of various governments, and there is no doubt in my mind that the people of Trinidad enjoy the highest standard of living under the People's Partnership Government, led by no other than the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. We have all felt the difference since 2015 general election and the negative impact it has had on our beautiful country. You can definitely feel the strain in your daily routine and especially in your pockets. In less than 3 years, our country has deteriorated under the PNM government. There has been over 1,300 murders, over 55,000 people lost their jobs, cutting gate, removal of laptops, tax, and more tax. And again, they want to bring property tax. And my list can go on and on and on. This weekend makes it 1 year since Barataria Electoral District was left unattended and neglected. I live in Barataria. I know the cries of the people, and I've heard them louder over the past few weeks as we walked and met the people. Parts of our community is now plagued by rampant crime. Just yesterday, someone was shot and killed on 12th Street in the community where I live, and he was left dead in a drain. Do you know what time that occurred? It was broad daylight, 7:30 in the morning. Our drains are clogged, and after a few minutes of rain, it causes major flooding, where it's pest infestation, rats, mosquitoes, and they are all a common cry of all. Our roads are riddled with potholes. Like we always say, performance beats all talk anytime. As your future councillor for the Barataria Electoral District, I promise to bring proper representation at the local level. I pledge to work towards uplifting the community, ensuring greater participation and resource allocation. I would strive to make Barataria safer. I will establish neighborhood watch groups throughout the electoral district of Barataria and work with the Barataria police station for more frequent police patrol and rapid response system. I would partner with the business community to establish a work where you live program, ensuring jobs within Barataria district is offered to our residents first. I will establish and implement an infrastructural maintenance program which seeks towards ensuring all roads and drains are properly maintained. All abandoned properties are upkept, and there's a frequent spraying by the insect vector division. I will work with the people of the Barataria to ensure their daily woes are alleviated. I stand ready to serve the people and ensure our community issues are addressed. Elections are not won on platforms or by giving speeches. Day. We owe it, and we owe it to our children. We owe it to our country to exercise that right. I ask all of you to make it your duty and go out and vote. I implore each and every one of you, Monday, 16th of July, don't hope for change, vote for change. Vote for your UNC candidate of Baltimore, of Belmont.
Come now, you got better than that. Where's some horns? And now, just for a few minutes, I want to give a gentleman that he's one of them gentlemen who's one of the loudest voices from this part of the country within the UNC. I want to just
good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. All protocols observed. Thank you, Kevin, and all the welcome. Kevin saying you want to welcome Don Sylvester. Kevin walking in Belmont like a Belmont rat. Kevin all over the place in Belmont. I said, but Kevin, you ain't from Belmont? He said, I'm from Belmont. Miss Jean living there. Mr. Paul down the road. The fellow with the sofa up the road. I said, what the hell are you in here? Kevin said, but Don, you ain't from Belmont. I said, Kevin, David Felician used to live in St. Barb's, my brother-in-law, and my sister Janet Felician used to bake bread. And I used to tote bread on my head from St. Barb's, go all down Waterman Road, St. Francois Valley Road, Belmont Valley Road, Circular Road, right where I used to be in Belmont, selling bread on my head on weekends, because when I'm done, my sister gave me a little pocket change, so I go back to Digo Martin, I have money to go back to school in Digo Sec. So I'm familiar with what's happening in Belmont. Let me just say that an 83-year-old woman this afternoon told me, 83 years, she said, Mister, you see, we in Belmont, we vote in PNM all the time, but we fed up, and we going to vote the UNC and Liana Barb Gonzalez. And when a lady in Belmont of that age could say that, something is happening. So my time is just brief. I want to welcome people to what we are doing here in Belmont. And it's a team. It's not one person, it's not two people or three people. It's a team doing this work here for the benefit of the people of Belmont. And the candidate, Leanna Barb Gonzalez, on the morning of the 17th of July 2018, will be celebrating for you, the people of Belmont. I thank you.
That story that Don just gave you all is true. You see, Don didn't know that I grew up on 42 Augustine Lane, Belmont, Bella Road. The first 13 years of my life. That is why I know. That's why I know myself. Chaka was talking about roots. Barry Paddock was talking about roots. My roots is right here in Belmont East. And I can tell you from walking around Belmont, people in Belmont fed up. They are fed up of the PNM. I want to introduce a man who, brother, let's come and take the stage. Brother, let's come and take the stage. He big just like me, and he more fed up than me.
Good night, Belmont. Good night, Belmont. Make some noise. I want to ask all you a question, and I want you to be honest with me. Anybody inside here fed up with the PNM? Anybody inside fed up with the PNM? I want to sing a little piece in it before the man came in. You know why I can't take with the PNM? Because they're always saying about the love we and always pretending. And at the end of the day, they don't like we at all. They only using me, abusing me. You understand what I'm saying? So anybody fed up with the PNM? The claim say they love we, yeah. The claim say they love we. I say the claim say the claim say they love we. Fed up, and them bag of lies. We fed up, tell me some wolf in disguise. Fed up, and they playing games, so we not voting them again. We fed up. Hope they understand. We fed up. PNM never had a plan. We fed up. How they using we? We are voting for? Oh, DJ, are you ready for me? I say the claim say they love we. The claim say they love we. Here I. I say they don't have a clue what to do, but put taxes on me and you take back the food card and the seating's hard. Now we living like dog in the yard. How they moving so? They really don't know. PNM not like people from the ghetto. Tell me why they. So tell them we fed up. Had them bag of lies. We fed up. Tell me some wolf in disguise. Fed up. Had them playing game, but so we not voting them again. We fed up, hope they understand. We fed up, PNM never had a plan. We fed up, how they using we, and so we voting for the. I said the claim said they love we, yeah. The claim said they love we. Give me the taxes there, give me the taxes there. Huh? All right, so we'll let them know. UNC and proud, make some noise. So who you voting for? Who you voting for? Tell them you what? All you what? All you what? All right.
All you fed up? I know, all you fed up? Well, if you're fed up, I want you all to vote for our next speaker. I want you all to vote for Leanna Barb Gonzalez. Leanna lives on the front line of Belmont. Leanna not going anywhere. Too many people tell me they don't know who the PNM council is. This is Leanna Barb Gonzalez. Everybody here knows where she lives and where she comes from. Stand up, don't be afraid. According to Barry, do not be afraid.
And hold your ground, because what will kill you should make you strong. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Belmont East. We love you. And we fed up. We say enough is enough. Time to make a decision, my people. I am Liana Bab Gonzalez, as you know my name, all over the place. And we have to make a difference. We have to stand up for what we believe. We have to stop saying that word, we fed up, and do something about it. Get Belmont working again. Get Belmont a safer community, a safer community for all. I am that voice. If you choose me, come July the 16th. I've been saying it so much times and yet I forget. That is all right. That is all right because I forget things every day. I am grateful and thankful for the opposition leader, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and the whole team of senators, everybody, all my supporters for choosing me to be your candidate for Belmont East as your UNC counselor. And I stand proud to be able to stand here and represent and be that voice for you. How are you? How are you feeling today, people? Are we going to make that difference? Are we going to come out on Monday, July the 16th, and make that difference? Or are we going to send a message to those political people who are in a coma right through that PNM doing something for them? Are we going to be that people in that political coma? Or are we going to wake up and stand for what we believe? Stand for everything that we know is right in our hearts to make a change in Belmont East. Are we going to be that people? Are you going to stand with me? It is not about me. It is about us, because I live here in Belmont too. I live on Belmont Circular Road. I have watched hearing my parents of my students and babies complaining, no water. I can't wash the children clothes to come to school, miss. That's why the child absent today. I hearing that every day. My family came and asked me to join this membership. I always used to vote for UNC, but I was never a member. And I went and filled out that form and become a member. And they encouraged me to go and speak for the people. And today, I choose that by making the sacrifice of my time, by the cries of these people, decided to take up my battle and walk with you as the voice with you, as I walk through all those lanes day in and day out, hearing the cries of my people flesh to flesh, talking with them, hearing these issues about water every day, some problem with water in the area. I have a nursery school, imagine, with babies and preschoolers, and have to call WASA, call fire services, and put my name on a list when I explain to you that it is babies I'm dealing with, little children, my 2 tanks are empty. I am on a list with a reference number waiting for days to be acknowledged. What about people who don't have that privilege of having tanks in their yards? As I say time and time again, what about the older, the senior citizens? What about parents, the women who are single and have no ability to have the finances of 4 tanks to put it in their yard? They are struggling for water, something that is free. Free? It is only when I made that call with my UNC leaders who standing and supporting me to the authorities of WASA, they actually kept the word, and I am thankful to WASA for keeping their word. Since I have been standing here, I can now say we have water in the vicinity for some weeks now. So why should I have to use my voice and then shout out to people, for my people, that we need something free like water? I thank God that at least they kept their word. So if I could do one thing and make a difference, and you can give me the opportunity to do more of the other things, together with your support, we can blast PNM out of this society. Jobs is, how you mean? Box them out. As you know, I am a boxer, I am a boxing coach, and they can't step. They cannot step here because the right thing we stand for and truth will always prevail. Those evil-minded people of the PNM who don't cast in our people in this society. So we will box them out of position. Young can't afford to get boxed out. He's too feeble. You had to put you out. You can't box you out. Because 2 years now, while walking in Bella Road with my people, my supporters, my strong team of supporters, even Ms. Jolene, even Don and Skeet and all of the members, all of my supporters walk up into Bella Road. 2 years, people. 2 years, Belmont Boys RC has been completed. And why it's not open? But they're paying a man to work for 2 years for free, doing nothing, watching a compound with no children in it, no teachers, nothing happening. So this man is maintaining an empty compound for free. Why we children not in the school? Why Stuart Young and do something about that? But they could send up people to talk about, oh, they want to fix this and fix that, and it's them in power. That making any sense? That can never make sense. So they better get out. So they better get up and get out of that Akoma mind thinking. Those people who sleeping in that Akoma better wake up and realize the school closed for 2 years and the children are in a squinge up little place when they're supposed to be free to run about in the school. And Stuart Young now decide he could walk around just because UNC making some noise. But I will tell you, UNC nothing yet. Because when you put me there, and you see how big my mouth is, and I shadow my voice over the darkness there, with the light of the God that steers my wheel, we will brighten up this area and bring victory to UNC. Empower us to get what we want when we ask for it. Imagine, I was driving taxis every day, and these taxi drivers complaining about the poor roads, hole in the road. They had to be buying tires. They had to be spending money on cars and wheels and all these things. How could people survive when you have to spend so much money on these things to replace things when they're supposed to be putting money in your pocket to survive and help your family? You know, since I see we walking up and down and complaining, all of a sudden, Port of Spain Corporation driving around and filling holes and mending properties and seeing about things they're supposed to be doing long time. They now get up. They now wake up. So when I was in a coma, they wasn't even sleeping, because when you're sleeping, you could still hear. When you're sleeping, you could still hear. They was in a coma. They're deaf, dumb, and dotish. They are sleeping in a coma and not doing nothing for all of we people. And the people who think that PNM still should be in power and they're seeing the foolishness they're doing, you too better wake up from that coma and vote come 16th of July for me and help me to be that voice for you and change this community into a better living and a safer environment. My sister Sharon, I wish you all the best, and I know with us and with all your supporters and all of us here, we will win them 2 seats because God is at our side and God don't sleep, God don't like ugly, and He will give us that empowerment to brighten that dark hole PNM has set for us and make victory for us come 17th of July. With your support, and on the 17th of July, when you make me win and Sharon win and be victorious in Jesus' name, as we enlighten this environment and be there for the people, not just because it's election time, but every day be a continuous walk and talk and know how to deal with the situations. Because if PNM so wonderful, when I go inside a there, then you shouldn't quarrel because you're talking and you're saying is you're 40 people. So if I come in and I be in 40 people, then you shouldn't have no qualms. When I come and tell you, fix the pothole, send water for me, fix and clean the road and the drains, help spray all them infected areas and mosquitoes and those them empty lots that they have in people's place cause them mosquito running through and through the house. They will have ministry help doing something. They will be doing the work. And you shouldn't have no qualms with me because we're supposed to be for the people. So I thank you, my people. I thank you, and we are proud and strong, and we will be victorious. Blessings.
Yeah. Never let your problems get you down.
Hold on. It ain't done yet. It ain't done yet. I want you all to know that come this Sunday, we have a legal clinic right here at the UNC City Center. In Barataria, we'll also be having a medical clinic at Sharon's office. You see, the UNC, this is nothing new to the UNC. UNC does things like this all the time. We connect with people. We help people. We are proud to do it. Performance beat all talk anytime. And I want to tell you all something about Liana. Here's the beautiful thing about Liana. Everybody here knows where Liana lives. Liana lives right on Belmont Circular. The first time I came to see her, she was sitting on her porch. And within a few seconds, about 100 people passed. Liana, how you going? Guess what? Liana will be one of those politicians where nobody will ever be able to say they don't see the councillor. Because everybody knows exactly where she is. She's a woman that practically living on the road. You don't even have to stop because the taxi could be just flying past. I need water. Coming up next, we have a powerhouse, the deputy political leader of the United National Congress. Rowley does walk out in suit and claim he about shit kickers. He ain't know where he start. He not ready for Jolene John. He just got a headache every time she talk. Right now, he pulling out 2 Panadol. But it can't help him. Let me welcome to Belmont. Miss Lady, come and show the people how we does work in the UNC.
The murder toll. Now on Monday 2nd, this week Monday, I heard it was 283. I heard it was 283. That's on Monday. And last night, the police fault, or the police has to solve these murders. The numbers keep climbing as high as El Cottage. And these fellas just don't care. They don't care about you. Everybody's saying that tonight. The numbers keep rising with these murders. I've been told that those fellas in the PNM, they don't care about numbers. All they care about is figures. You know, they don't care. They don't care about numbers. So to some, you know, it's just unwelcome statistics. Nameless, faceless. We go about our business as usual because the government has dumbed us down. You know, it seems as if, who are these families of these the murder victims? And the statistics are saying that the police solve 5%. You know what 5% means? It means out of every 100 murder, how much they solve? They solve 5. It means tonight, we are 288. Before the night is over, and please be safe, 89 now, I'm told. You know, of that, they would have solved about 12 murders. So it means over 200 murderers. We have to be like, you know, in Christ's time, Lord, is it I? Because you don't know if it's the man on the maxi next to you, the man in the supermarket. You don't know if the man walking around the supermarket. Who are these people committing these murders? And why it is we can't catch these people? What is going on? Why it is we have a government so heartless that they don't believe that somehow we deserve the safety and security in this country? So last Friday, I think it was, there was a motion of no confidence in the Minister of National Security. I mean, nobody wants a motion of no confidence. But of course, you can use that platform. You can, if you have respect for the people, you use that platform to say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do, this is where we have gotten to. And this issue of crime and violence in our country is being resolved. Because with a country of 1.3 million people, we have an average of 48 murders every single month. People, this is serious business. And we have a government who just is totally oblivious to what is happening. They are saying it is the police fault. Okay, they got the police. They put that on the police. Then they say, no, no, no. The MPs did not, the UNC MPs did not vote with me to get this anti-gang legislation. Because of course, you know, the Motor-Mouth Attorney General said, if we get that, that is all we need. Please, he went before the leader of the opposition. He said, please, baby, please, just give me that anti-gang legislation because I know where they live. I know where they sleep. I know their wives. I know they keep women. I know if they does eat bacon shark. We have had this anti-gang legislation now for how long? 3 months. And over, and nothing is happening. So there they are, the opposition fighting valiantly in the parliament on behalf of the people. And what does the Minister of National Security, our beloved MP here, shut up? Because he means he must not speak. And of course he said, I will not shut up. No, that is not part of our legislation. When you become 18 years old, you could sign up for whatever you want. You can be whomever you want. So Sunday of last week, we had doctors here in Belmont looking after the people. Doctors who support the UNC. Was that patriotic? Was that patriotism when you are serving your fellow men? And we had attorneys, about 8 of them, across in Barataria, looking after people who can't otherwise. There is Mr. Brian Bake. He was one of them. The attorneys looking after the people. Isn't that patriotism? In the rain, they came out to be their brother's keeper. You see, Minister Dillon believes that you have to look nice and fancy in your khaki. You have to put on government boots. You have to be able to do the electric slide smooth. You know the electric slide. You know it's a black people thing, Liana. We can do without it. It's electric. You understand? That's what it's good for. MP Padarat. That is what it's good for. You understand? If you understand? If you have started that electric slide, You know? It's a black people thing. You understand? You understand? He grew into electric slide, but he's not doing his job. So he tells you now, you are unpatriotic because you ain't know the electric slide. You understand? So it's not, I want to tell Minister Dillon tonight, it's not because of khaki and your shine buttons. It's about love and compassion and doing your job. As the leader of the opposition said, do your job. Last week, Sunday evening, after all that rain, Senator Mark called me because the people from Beetham told him they wanted to get on to me. Over 40 houses were flooded. He said, call them now. Senator Mark has been patriotic. I immediately called a lady by the name of Miss Betty-Ann Smith. That's my love for people. I mean, what Betty-Ann Smith has to understand, as you, the people of Belmont, has to understand, elections have over almost 3 years you haven't seen him. Why? Because you are not his people. He don't care about you. He went into the parliament under pressure. I was in Belmont walking with my rain boots. We had 2 seasons in the country, the rainy season and the dry season. Why do I have rain boots? Because you know what? If I was at the HTC, nobody would have to invite me to go down to Beetham, to go down to Sealats. I would have been there in my rain boots. So he went into the parliament to disparage my $20 rain boots. Now I want to buy these are practical boots. You understand? Now I want to buy him a pair of the boots because it seems as if he fancy. You know, he's not my friend. So I decided to look at his hand to see the size of his. Look at his hand. You understand? The fella hand like Donald Trump hand. I feel I've had to buy a size 6 shoes. His hands are small. So you understand? So as I said, if on the 16th, elections have consequences. When the People's Partnership was in office, all the fence line communities of Barataria, but the apartments in Bard Street, you ask them. We retrofitted all of it. Pigeon proofing. You like it, you like it. His hands are small. Don't let no man tell your hands small, boy. It's not a compliment. It's not a compliment. Not a compliment. My daughter wouldn't be proud of her mother tonight. Anyway, we went to Bard Street. Places like Bard Street, Mango Rose, Beverly Hills, St. Joseph Road, Shafford Court, Plaisance, Street Simon Flats, St. Paul Street, all of these fence line communities. Under the HTC, we did work. We did lots of work. Whether it is like in Beetham phases 1 to 3, retrofitting, putting in firewalls, because they built those buildings without putting in firewalls. So fire could have come and just catch you, and you die. Because this is a group of people who are heartless. They don't care about the people. They don't care about you. For 3 years, you see Stuart Young. What's Stuart Young doing here? And to compound it, he continues to stereotype because he ain't like you. You know, he talk about my boots because he tell himself, what is this man doing in rain boots? I should be in the kitchen working. People who look like me must not be independent. I must be working in his kitchen. So I saw their schedule of meetings. I've told you, UNC had what inside of you? Medical clinic on Sunday. Sunday coming will be a legal clinic, and vice versa with Barataria. What is the PNM having on Friday? As I was coming here, I heard them announcing it. They are having a blocko. They are having a blocko. Right? Because, again, they are stereotyping you because for them, black man is fed last night, fed the night before, we got fed tomorrow night, we got fed forevermore. And whole night we jamming, baby. You understand? You ain't deserve nothing. You ain't deserve water. You ain't deserve to have your drains clean. You ain't deserve jobs. You deserve to be killed and murdered because you are pests. You understand? And then on Friday night, the black man will go out and jam by Picot's Corner. I say to reject that. Liana is a born again. She goes to church on Saturday. Rest up Friday night to go to church with Liana. You go on Saturday. She's a good woman. I said to vote for Liana Bob Gonzalez. I said vote for Sharon Durham. Vote for sanity. You see, they tell you about vetting and they stereotype you, and then they want put their friend, of course, to put their friend Butch out. Butch, they have a boat coming here that we can't see. The pirate ship. They're telling you close your eye. The boat like your imaginary friend. They should rename it from Galleon Passage to my imaginary friend. Right? That is what they should name that boat. You can't see the ghost ship. That is what they're doing with your money. And then he comes around, Stuart Young, he's Superman with his small hands. Yeah, you want my boots? I'm gonna buy my boots. I'm gonna buy my size 6 boots. Yeah, my boots are made for walking, boy. And they're gonna walk all over him, don't worry, sir. So anyway, so billions are spent annually on more and more policing. The money that is spent on more and more policing, more big guns, more cars. Why isn't that money spent in fixing out your houses, in fixing your drain, in fixing your water supply? Because that is how we get order. We get order when people believe they belong to a civilized society. Crime was down, not only because there were jobs, but because of the way the People's Partnership treated the people. We fixed their houses. There was raw sewage flowing in the yard of St. Joseph Road. Children playing in that sewage. That is what PNM have for you. You must be there in the sewage. And then when you're seeing sewage in the yard, you have pigeon on top, shitting on your head. Can I use that word? Yes. You understand? So it's coming from on top and below. They just feel that that is what is good for you. But Stuart must get land and you must get. Yes, that is what they have for you. So, common entrance results came out, and we must congratulate the wonderful children of Aranguez and all the children who did well. But I saw a man called named Anthony Garcia going and hugging up the poor little boy. I don't want to say anything disparaging. I should. Why are you doing hugging up this little boy? This little boy got a perfect score. You know how that came about? Because he had wonderful parents who were concerned and who cared and who worked with him, and teachers who were engaged. There were 2,595 students who got under 30%. As far as I'm concerned, that is where Garcia should have found his sweaty self. Not hugging up this little boy. There is where they needed him. You know, you're there parading and politicizing with the people child who know nothing about, who, when in September he goes into school, he had no laptop to get because of him. You understand? They should chase people like Garcia, and they're wicked and disgusting. Go and look after the 2,595 who got under 30%. What is their plight? He said he got something they're going to do. What is it something? Why PNM always have something nebulous that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't feel, including the boat? Everything they have is an imaginary friend. They're telling us close your eye and you will see it. You will see the job just if you close your eye. You're going to see this thing coming. Imber say, I can see clearly now. So he said, open your eye and you're going to see the money. You're going to see the jobs. Where are these things? PNM fooling us for too long. They have far too long. They have us and they're saying, vote for us. You look like you look like me. You look like me. You are one of us. I tell you tonight, PNM is not one of you. They don't care about you. And on the 16th of July, you must tell them where to go with that. You are going to take that talk no longer. You are not going to take any imaginary friend. You're not taking any imaginary job. You want to see job. You want to see real water flowing in your tap. You want your children to be safe. You want to be safe in your house. You are not, you hear what I'm telling you? From the 16th, you are telling PNM, go with your imaginary talk. All you have real friends. All your real friends is the 1%. And they are in the minority. Who is the majority? 99%. All of us, right, who are poor and destitute and vulnerable, we are the ones. And we are going to show them that there is strength in numbers. There is strength in numbers. So get up early on the 16th and you go out and for Liana Bab, for Belmont, Gonzalez for Belmont East, and you vote for Sharon Mirage Durab for Barataria. Ensure you do more than send PNM a message because we need to get them out. On the 17th, Dr. Rowley must find himself to the president to call that election, ask her to dissolve the parliament because we want a real election. We don't want an imaginary election. So I want to thank you so much.
They have to wonder.
Was that patriotism when you are